assigns to the states the responsibility to conduct elections. It's clear in Article 2, Section 1. It leaves courts with the responsibility to adjudicate disputes, and it assigns to Congress the ministerial function of counting ballots, except for extreme circumstances, such as when a state sends competing slates of electors to Congress. Which brings me to the 1877 precedent. Some objectors claim to merely want a commission to conduct an audit and then let states decide whether to send different electors. Well, first, the situations are not at all analogous. In 1877, Congress had before it two slates of electors from several states. Here, there are no Trump electors from swing states. There's just Biden electors. Second, legislatures from the swing states, they've already spoken. They've made their decision. They've chosen not to send us alternative electors. Third, a commission.
presidential election. But I cannot and will not entertain a suggestion that we violate current law to change the outcome. 8 challenges contesting the Arizona election were brought to federal and state courts. All 8 were withdrawn or dismissed, including a unanimous ruling by the Arizona Supreme Court. The Chief Justice wrote, "The challenge fails to present any evidence of misconduct or illegal votes, let alone establish any degree of fraud or sufficient error rate that would undermine the certainty of the election results." During a recent committee hearing, I asked a simple question of the former Director of Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security. Did he find any evidence disputing the integrity or fairness of Arizona's election? His answer was simple: no. Arizona and our 15 counties should be congratulated for running a secure election. Perhaps the most heartening demonstration of Arizona's election success is Jocelyn from Phoenix. Jocelyn is 18 years old and was a first-time voter in 2020. So was Rachel from Tucson. And 1,000 more Arizonans who for the first time exercised their constitutional right to decide their own leaders. Today's challenge to Arizona's election fails any factual analysis. More disturbingly, it seeks to rob Jocelyn and Rachel and more than 3 million Arizonans of a free, fair election. Those of us who are trusted with elected office are first and foremost public servants. We serve our constituents. We do not seek to substitute our personal ambitions for the will of the American people. Our system allows for a continuous contest of ideas, and those voters who support the losing side of a free, fair election have not been disenfranchised. Rather, they maintain just as an important a voice in America's future. And leaders have a duty to serve all of our constituents, including those who voted for other candidates. Great leaders in our history face the choice of whether to take an action strengthening our democracy, even if a different action would better serve their political ambitions. Many are revered today because they chose our republic over their self-interests, including my personal hero, Senator John McCain. Following his presidential loss, Senator McCain said, "The American people have spoken. Senator Obama and I have argued our differences, and he has prevailed. Whatever our differences, we are fellow Americans." He spoke to the nearly 60 million Americans who voted for him, saying, "It is natural tonight to feel some disappointment, but tomorrow we must move beyond it and work together to get our country moving again." Senator McCain was right. Today we have serious, significant work to do, beating this pandemic and reviving our economy. I urge my colleagues to follow the example of Senator John McCain and so many others. Reject this meritless challenge and uphold the will of Arizona voters. Thank you.
Majority Leader.
Mr. President, I yield up to 5 minutes to the Senator from Oklahoma, Senator Lankford.
Senator from Oklahoma.
Mr. President, in America, we settle our differences in elections. What happens if you don't trust the election count, or you're concerned that so many courts denied or dismissed cases within hours after they were given thousands of pages of evidence? The reason we have a Congress to settle our nation's divisions and the rules of the Senate make sure that every opinion in the nation is heard is so issues like this can be addressed. The constitutional crisis in our country right now is that millions of Americans are being told to sit down and shut up. Their opinions matter. During the Electoral Challenge on January the 6th, 2005, Senator Ted Kennedy stood on this floor and said this. He said, "I commend the many thousands of citizens in Massachusetts and other states who insisted on treating today's electoral vote count in Congress as a meaningless ritual would be an insult to our democracy unless we register our own protest against the obviously flawed voting process that took place in so many states. We are hopeful," he said, that this major issue that goes to the heart of our democracy is now firmly implanted on the agenda for effective action by Congress. End quote. I agree. The United States Constitution does not allow me to assign different electors to a state, nor should it. The United States Constitution does not give the option to the Vice President of the United States to just unilaterally decide which states are in and out, and it should not. Each state decides its electors through its people. But a small group of senators, including myself, have demanded that we not ignore the questions that millions of people are asking in our nation. So we have proposed a constitutional solution. Pause the count. Get more facts to the states before January the 20th. We proposed a 15-member commission, just like what was done after the failed election of 1876. We're encouraging people to spend 10 days going through all the issues so states can have one last opportunity to address any challenges. Then the states, as the Constitution directs, would make the final decision on their electors. I have some colleagues who have said that a 10-day commission is not enough time. So they have counter-proposed, just ignoring the lingering questions. We need to do something. My challenge today is not about the good people of Arizona.
Senate will stand in recess until the call of the chair.
We'll pause.
Protesters are in the building.
Thank you.
There wasn't anything you said.